working for you. A weekly talk radio program which highlights developments of national interest and the activities of your St. Kitts Nevis government. Join host Roy Williams as he presents news, views, reports, and interviews about everything regarding the activities of the Team Unity government and the building of our communities and the development of St. Kitts Nevis. Tune in and call in to interact with your government and share your views regarding the upward forward development of your community and our beautiful Twin Island Federation. Working for you is weekly, every Wednesday live from 1:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. on ZIZ Radio, Win FM, and Sugar City FM with rebroadcast on participating stations. Working for you.
Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Working for You. We apologize for the late start today. I am your host, Roy Williams. This is the weekly radio and television government program where you can be informed about what is happening in St. Kitts and Nevis. Today I am honored to have with me three guests. We will be discussing the St. Kitts Music Festival today on the program. I have with me Mr. Allister Williams, very familiar name, who is Executive Director of the St. Kitts and Nevis Music Festival. And of course, he works in the Tourism Events Unit. I also have with me Mr. Farron Lawrence, who is Chairman of the St. Kitts Music Festival Committee, and Mr. Saju Ngala, Communications Manager at the St. Kitts Tourism Authority. Gentlemen, welcome. We're indeed honored to have you today. And today we will be talking music festival. We'll be talking, of course, something that Kittitians and Nevisians, people throughout the region and people throughout the world look forward to each year. And it is my understanding that the music festival began in 1996. And so we are in the 20th year of hosting the music festival. That is quite an achievement, especially today where things start and does not continue. The music festival has continued. So I want us to look back over the years and look at the genesis of the music festival in 1996. And if you, Mr. Williams, you've been involved in the music festival for many, many years. Can you tell us a little bit about what was the rationale behind the music festival?
As you quite rightfully said, the music festival started way back in 1996, and it has been an incredible journey to this date. We've had some high points, we've had some great accolades over the years, and even a lot of fantastic press coming out of the event each year. But we started the project way back in 1996 in order to expand the tourism season. As you know, that time of the year is usually the low point for tourism, and so we thought that a festival, and at the time I should say that festivals were springing up around the region. However, we thought that we did not want to venture into the jazz festival arena that was common in those days. We thought instead that perhaps we ought to do something more diverse that would include a larger audience and different musicians and different musical forms as well. And so we opt for going in a different direction to what was the norm back then, and that is to have a music festival so that one can come and hear virtually, basically every type of music imaginable. And so we started, it was part of expanding tourism. We felt that we can boost airlift and at the same time increase hotel occupancy levels around that period. And at the same time create some economic activity in the country, and also to expose some of our local talent that exists here on the island. So those are some of the reasons for putting on the festival back then in 1996, and we have not looked back since. and we have done quite a tremendous job, I might add, in making sure that the event was sustainable and the destination was well marketed in the process.
Why June?
June because, as I indicated, it is the slow period for tourism, and we want to expand the tourism period. Most of the hotels will tell you they start to see some fall off in arrivals around June, the end of June, and so on. So we figured that if we can put an event in that slot, then we'll be able to keep workers in the hotel plan for a little longer. And then, of course, we can also marry it with other things, such as right now we have cricket. Immediately following the St. Kitts Music Festival this year, for instance, there is CPL. And of course, there's also Restaurant Week, which is also in early July as well. And over on the sister island, there's Culturama. So we felt we could marry a number of things and engage visitors and even returning national to come back home, and for the visitors to visit things around this period, and perhaps even spend a number of weeks with us, because then you have the music festival, you might take in some cricket if you're a sports enthusiast, and at the same time you might even venture to go over to the sister island to take in some of Culturama. So we figured that that period was quite ideal to do all of those things, and at the same time create that trickling effect that you get from tourism.
Right. Now, Mr. Lawrence, Mr. Williams has outlined the rationale for hosting the St. Kitts Music Festival, the objectives of it. Do you think that these objectives have been achieved over the years? What have been some of the high points and the feedback with respect to the music festival?
I like to refer to the St. Kitts Music Festival, the project, as one of the success stories we have in St. Kitts and in fact in the Caribbean. I think it has done very well at meeting the objectives that it was set. I speak to the fact that one of the objectives was to expose our local talent. I think we have done that. Many of our local artists have been employed in other islands, based on the fact that they were able to get on a big stage, a big production arena. In terms of tourism, I think when we look at the numbers in terms of the persons coming into St. Kitts, the spend, the hotel rooms that are filled up, clearly from an economic standpoint, I am very convinced that it has probably surpassed what the objective was. Another area that was very pleasing for me is one of the objectives was to bring foreign journalists to St. Kitts, and the trick or the idea was to have high-end artists that journalists follow.
Yes.
So when you bring, for example, one of the big, like the Kool and the Gang or Lionel Richie, they are entertainment journalists who follow these artists.
Right.
And they don't, when they come to St. Kitts, it's not just to shoot the artists. They're going to take in our island. They're going to talk about, they're going to look at interactions with our people, some of the sites to see. And so the idea being that when they go back out to their respective countries and they write about their artists, we get piggyback with St. Kitts the destination.
In well-known magazines and newspapers and
correct.
So on.
And so there are a number of international magazines and publications where St. Kitts show up. In fact, as recently as a couple of weeks ago, online, there was a heading, the top music festivals in the world to attend. St. Kitts was number 6. I mean, that tells you, if that doesn't tell you about how we have succeeded, how we have met our target, then I think nothing else does, because I think that was profound.
Right.
So to answer your question succinctly, we have met the objectives and we continue to meet them, and I'm sure we will just, and years to come will continue as well.
Right. Now, Mr. Lawrence, while you spoke about hotel occupancy and people coming in and all of that sort of thing, has anyone done this assessment over the 20 years, a sort of a survey to really know, how we are progressing in terms of the St. Kitts Music Festival and its impact on St. Kitts and Nevis?
we have not done it on a continuous basis, and that is one of the shortcomings. And part of the reason for that is a very costly expense undertaking if you're going to do it properly. For many years, we sought to get financial assistance from regional bodies to assist with doing the kind of analysis that could be useful to us. However, notwithstanding, on a number of occasions, we use some local persons to just at least get some preliminary information. For example, in 2003, I think we attracted over 14,000 visitors. No, sorry, attendees to the events. We were able to determine that we had close to 3,000 visitors on the island over that 4-day period. 69% of those visitors in 2003 came in from other Caribbean islands, mainly from Antigua, British Virgin Islands, St. Martin, St. Thomas, and Anguilla, while 21% came from beyond New York, New Jersey.
Sure.
What we do not have, unfortunately, is good sound figures on expenditure. But what I have seen, and I always make the point that the spin-offs, the VAT that are collected, the hotel taxes that are collected, the airport taxes that are collected, the small shops that the festive mood is on, the additional expenditure that individuals incur. I mean, yes, I don't have it in figures, but walking through it, you can see it, and I'm very confident that once we are able to, and we're hoping we can do that very soon, in maybe the next festival or two, quantify that and put it in writing so that people could know exactly.
Right. So it is generating quite some activity economically, and who sets up his barbecue store.
Absolutely.
People the music festival and set up their food boats and all that sort of thing. The taxi drivers.
Absolutely.
And so on. So there are benefits to be derived from hosting the music festival.
The restaurants, the caterers, everybody gets a piece of the action during that week of music festival.
Right. And sometimes, even though, there are some things that you don't see immediate outcomes, for example, in the long run, St. Kitts is being promoted internationally.
Yes.
People come to know about St. Kitts. You spoke about the international magazines and so on, that writers, international writers.
And just to add to that, too, we did a little survey coming out of last year's festival, and we found that as a committee, and this is just a committee, this is not the spin-off effects, and so as a committee, we employed at least 3 security firms. We had about 2 cleaning companies employed, over 10 ticket sellers, about 35 transportation providers, the taxi drivers and all those other tour operators, about 40 gatekeepers, 25 production technicians, and additional backstage security officers. So just the festival alone, these are some of the numbers that we ourselves have engaged on any given festival year. And the numbers sometimes increase depending on where we're operating. For the last several years, we've been operating on football, which is a little smaller and less confined. But when we are in cricket, the numbers increase because then it's a bigger space, and so we have to employ much more service providers in order to make sure the job is done correctly. So those are some of the figures that we pulled from the last couple of festivals up to last year.
Right. Now, Saju, you're the man of communications. And maybe you can speak a little bit to how the music festival is marketed. How do you get the message out?
Okay. Well, that's wonderful. Very good question. In fact, a timely question. The minister has just concluded a promotional tour in New York. He went up there with my CEO, Raquel Brown, along with the marketing director, Mrs. Agnes Thompson. And they went all around the tri-state area to promote the destination. And the music festival was used as a tool in that the music festival really, when we go out to the marketplace, we use it as a value added on item.
Yes.
In that if you are planning a vacation, you're looking at the Caribbean region, or you're looking all over the world, But when you realize that we have this 3 night of performances, world-renowned performances, this year, 50 Cent and so forth, imagine coming here for maybe a week and you're able to get that. It's value added. And so when we are out there, we push that. Because what you find is that people from the United States, Europe, Canada, they're not going to come just to see a performance. They can see that anytime. That's easy. However, if they're in the mindset that I got a little extra money, I want to go somewhere, I want to enjoy the beach, I want to enjoy the rainforest, whatever. At the same time, wow, is that Toss Wiley? Wow, is that 50 effing vodka? Love effing vodka. Yeah, they're going to reach. And so we push it along that, value added. In the Caribbean now, Caribbean people tend to travel for events. And so an event like this, we do get a lot of people. In fact, most of the people coming to the music festival are usually from the Caribbean region. Our neighboring islands, Antigua, St. Martin, Dominica, the USBI, and the BVI, historically have come in their numbers. To the point where, right now, if you haven't booked on Leah, and I encourage those who are listening right now, I'm sure you have listeners all over the Caribbean.
That's correct.
You need to book right now your flights. They are going pretty fast, or they're going to get extremely expensive. Coming to St. Kitts during that week is near impossible because pretty much all the seats are filled up. We're looking to add charters. We're looking to get people on fishing boats to come over here. Yeah, that's possible. But we do get quite a big Caribbean following, and we push that. Some of the means we use extensively, especially in the Caribbean region, social media, Facebook, Instagram. We're very much big now when it comes to online marketing. I think we pretty much write a book on it. It's inexpensive, and the numbers are there to show that when somebody watches a picture or clicks on a picture or makes a comment, we see that. And so far, we've gone out to Trinidad, pretty much to work, and I'm going to name all the Caribbean islands, but we've used social media to reach people all over the Caribbean. We're also using magazines, print media. One of the most effective ones, of course, are the in-flight magazine. Liat and Caribbean Airways both have in-flight magazine. Liat is Zing, Caribbean Airlines is Caribbean Beat. And anybody who goes in those seats, and usually, they're business travelers, they're sports people, they're people who are used to traveling. Once they sit down in that seat, usually they pick up a magazine, so it's very effective. We also have an in-flight video in Caribbean Airlines. So definitely the reach is there. We're also on television, CMC, Caravision, which is their television network. And if you look at the news, I think it's 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock. We have about 2 spots every night. And so again, that's a reach to the Caribbean people. We are also pretty much in every cinema in the Caribbean, in that we've had an arrangement with Caribbean cinemas, and that even in St. Kitts, if you go to the movies, I don't know when last you've been there.
I've been there one time.
You will see our video playing, and people, in the USVI, in the BVI, even Puerto Rico. So we do have people, so we can't leave that market alone. We are in the cinemas. Now that's quite a reach. A lot of people go to the cinemas, and to have that is almost unheard of. I don't even know really of any other festival that uses that medium. I might be kind of sharing my secret, but hopefully is listening. Also, we work very closely with the radio stations and the DJs. Right now, we have about maybe 4 promotions going on right now in St. Martin, in Antigua, in the Tobago, and one last in Dominica, where, if you call in, you can actually win a trip to St. Kitts for 2. And that's quite big. When you call in, it's a competition. Either you name a tune that somebody is singing at the music festival, or you sing along, and then your name goes into a draw, and we draw it out. People love meetings, so that is a big draw, and it goes quite well. So that's really to sum it up. There's a lot more, of course, under those different headings. marketing. Right?
Do you employ any overseas marketing agencies to assist with the marketing of the music festival?
We do, because the St. Kitts Tourism Authority is charged with the marketing of the music festival, and we have our agents in the various markets. We have our PR marketing agents in the UK, we have our PR marketing agents in the US, and for the North American region. And as I said before, they are charged to make sure that when they do the selling points, when they are promoting the music festival, is added on value. We can't miss that. For only, I think, 150 US, you get your season pass, and you can see world-class artists that usually in the States or in the Europe will cost you, $1,000. The kind of intimacy we have here, where you're up close to the artists, you can touch them. Because usually most of them will come down to the crowd anyway, and will mingle and mix. It's very intimate how our music festival is compared to others. We allow our artists to come down and mingle. We allow them to walk freely, through the streets in the festival venue. So it's really a great value. It's inexpensive to experience that kind of entertainment at that price. So yes, we definitely do market it in all of our promotional avenues.